The ocean's surface is the ultimate barrier. It hides secrets, but for 140 sailors, it is their ceiling. We explore the intense, closed world of a modern nuclear submarine deployment, an environment defined by steel and silence. Imagine being sealed inside a 361-foot steel tube, designed to withstand unimaginable external pressure for months on end. For 3 to 6 months, this vessel is their entire universe. There is no sun, there is virtually no escape. Survival inside the boat relies on technological mastery and a stringent discipline rarely seen in any other military service. The core challenge is basic life support, sustaining breathable air, potable water, and morale in absolute isolation. Air is constantly recycled. Electrolyzers split water, creating oxygen. Lithium hydroxide scrubbers capture carbon dioxide. This process ensures the air remains cleaner, technically, than the average city street above. The second essential is water. Nuclear submarines can purify seawater into fresh drinking water indefinitely. This capability is a freedom surface ships lack, but every drop is still managed with meticulous care. The operational life of a submariner is defined by the 3 pillars: eating, working, and the relentless pressure of proximity. Let us start with the legendary food. Submarine food is not merely sustenance, it is a vital psychological tool. On an average day, the galley prepares 4 full meals, accommodating these staggered, non-traditional watch schedules. This means 2 full breakfasts, 2 full dinners, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The goal is simple: maximize caloric intake and morale while minimizing the effects of stress and sensory deprivation. Storage is a logistical puzzle. Initially, the food is stored everywhere, and we mean absolutely everywhere. Cases of eggs, milk, and frozen meat fill the aisles, and temporary berths, slowly being consumed over weeks. The cooks, often called the most important crew members, must estimate consumption for 90 days without resupply. During a 3-month patrol, the crew might consume over 50,000 eggs and 4,000 pounds of beef. Fresh fruits and vegetables are the first things to go, usually lasting only a few weeks before cans take over. After the initial stacks of crates are gone, the ship feels subtly more spacious, signaling a milestone has been passed. Beyond food, sleep is the next challenge, complicated by space constraints and constant noise. Privacy is non-existent. Most sailors utilize hot racking, where 3 sailors share 2 bunks. As one sailor wakes up for watch, the next one slides into the still warm mattress. Your rackmate's smell, habits, and comfort are shared realities, forcing quick adaptation. The most junior sailors might even find themselves sleeping on temporary canvas racks suspended over torpedo tubes. But the lack of sunlight is the most insidious environmental factor, warping the natural circadian rhythm. The crew operates on a highly structured 6-hour on, 18-hour off cycle, or a rotating 3-section watch. This cycle is designed to maximize alertness during critical watch periods, but it ensures perpetual mental exhaustion. Working aboard a submarine means constant vigilance. Every sailor, regardless of rank, must understand the vessel's systems. The control room, the heart of the ship, is a nexus of technology and human intuition. Here, the quartermaster steers, the diving officer maintains depth, and the captain orchestrates the mission. The most crucial station is sonar, the ears of the submarine, where trained operators listen to the ocean's symphony. They distinguish between shrimp clicking, whale songs, and the faint, mechanical hum of an enemy propeller thousands of yards away. The environment outside is unforgiving. A single hull breach, even a small leak, can lead to disaster in seconds. Every sailor is a damage control specialist, ready to fight flooding, fire, or toxic fumes instantaneously. Rig for ultra quiet means every unnecessary system is shut down and movement is restricted. During silent running, the vessel moves like a predator, its presence detectable only by the most sensitive hydrophones. In the engine room, immense power is generated by the nuclear reactor, the heart that keeps the machine alive. These sailors are experts in thermodynamics and high-pressure steam, working in temperatures often exceeding 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Safety protocols are paramount. The danger of radiation leaks or steamline rupture is a constant, tangible threat. The operational lifespan of the reactor core can be 30 years or more, allowing global transit without refueling. This endurance allows them to truly vanish, staying submerged for months, a strategic advantage unmatched by air or surface fleets. Hygiene and sanitation are managed under extreme conservation efforts, especially regarding fresh water. Showers are short and infrequent, usually reserved for essential cleaning before and after particularly dirty work. The toilets, or heads, use high-pressure ejection systems to overcome the ocean's immense pressure. A mistake in operating the sanitary tank can result in a powerful, hazardous reverse flow known as shooting the head. Waste disposal must be carefully timed. Trash is weighted down and ejected through a special tube called the trash disposal unit. Ejecting trash leaves a slight acoustic signature, meaning even this simple task must adhere to the tactical situation. The most pervasive element of life underwater is psychological stress, amplified by the unrelenting lack of privacy. The crew becomes a tightly knit, insular family. There is no escaping grudges or celebrating alone. Morale is maintained through traditions like movie night, often shown in the torpedo room amidst the ordnance. The crew also participates in field day, where every inch of the boat is scrubbed and cleaned intensely. This cleanliness is not just for hygiene, it is a ritualistic act of control in an uncontrollable environment. Communication with the outside world is severely restricted. Internet is non-existent. Messages home are typically limited to brief, heavily censored emails known as familygrams. These messages can only be received when the submarine nears the surface to raise its antenna, a risky maneuver. The anticipation of receiving a familygram is immense, often the only marker of time passing besides the calendar. Serious emergencies require surfacing, but even a life or death situation must weigh the mission's tactical risk. The greatest fear is a massive fire, especially in the high-oxygen environment and confined quarters. Fire drills are relentless, ensuring sailors can find a fire source in the dark, relying only on touch and sound. The second great fear is flooding. The depth itself becomes the weapon, pressing in on the wounded vessel. If flooding cannot be contained, the only option is to blow the ballast tanks and attempt an emergency surface. The sound of rushing air filling the tanks, known as an emergency blow, is deafening and terrifying. Should the submarine become trapped on the seabed, specialized rescue vehicles are the only hope. But statistics are grim. In the deep ocean, there is very little room for error or second chances. This constant awareness of danger sharpens the focus and reinforces the unbreakable bond between the crew. Weeks turn into months. The crew begins to show the physical signs of isolation and vitamin D deficiency. However, the mission dictates every action, overriding personal discomfort. The deployment has a timeline. The long patrol culminates in the final, dramatic approach, navigating back into familiar territorial waters. Prepare to surface. The psychological shift is immediate and powerful. The sailors rush to the surface, performing the meticulous checks to ensure a safe ascent. The sound of the ballast tanks flooding with air is the sound of success, pushing the great steel beast upward. As the vessel breaks the waves, the change in atmosphere is instantaneous and jarring. The first men to step out onto the sail feel the sun on their faces for the first time in 90 days. The smells of the land, of salt air, of pollution, of the atmosphere itself, flood their senses. The crew stands proudly on the deck, dressed in their best uniforms, preparing for their long-awaited return to port. Waiting on the pier are families, relieved and emotional, ending the separation mandated by deep-sea service. The transition back to surface life is not immediate. The submarine world leaves its mark. They must readjust to the space, the light, and the overwhelming noise of an uncompressed world. The commitment required by these sailors is profound. Total reliance on technology and total trust in each other. This is the life of the silent service, A grueling existence where every successful day is a triumph of engineering and willpower.
But the work continues, even tied to the pier. Maintenance cycles begin immediately upon return.
The reactor must be secured, systems flushed, and preparations made for the next disappearance. The life cycle of a nuclear submarine involves periods of intense operation followed by mandatory rest and deep maintenance. For the crew, survival means adhering to thousands of established procedures honed over decades of underwater warfare. Every pipe, wire, and hatch has a purpose, and failure to respect any one of them can be catastrophic. Training drills are constant, turning every sailor into a technical expert in multiple fields. From navigating by stars they cannot see to repairing complex electronics, they are self-sufficient deep beneath the waves. The challenge of noise abatement remains the obsession of the crew and designers alike. The ability to hide is their ultimate weapon, ensuring the success of crucial intelligence-gathering missions. Even the sounds of their own movements, a dropped tool, a closing door, are amplified and dangerous.
The control room uses specialized floating floors and anti-vibration mounts to isolate sensitive listening equipment.
The most effective way to eliminate noise is simply to stop moving, known as drifting silently. The consumption of food helps mark time when other sensory cues are removed, providing small comforts. The smell of fresh baking, often bread or cinnamon rolls, permeates the boat, boosting morale significantly. The quality of the food is a direct reflection of the command's understanding of psychological survival.
Despite the abundance of food, weight management is a challenge for some due to limited opportunities for exercise.
Every spare corner is utilized for storage, recreation, or even basic physical fitness. The psychological resilience of the crew is tested by the lack of natural light, which affects mood and perception. To counteract this, modern subs use specialized lighting systems that slowly shift to simulate daylight cycles. This attempt to trick the mind is necessary to prevent severe depression and chronic fatigue. The chain of command must be meticulously upheld, yet the density of life fosters a unique equality. Rank is respected, but everyone shares the same stale air, the same cramped mess, and the same danger. This shared hardship creates professional relationships stronger than those on any surface fleet.
The moments of levity are precious. A joke shared, a game of cards played quietly in the off-watch hours.
But at a moment's notice, the vessel can shift from tranquil operation to high-stakes combat readiness. The firing chain is precise, deliberate, and handled by an integrated team of tactical specialists. The ultimate display of power is the launch sequence, where the submarine unleashes its strategic capabilities. After a successful launch, the crew immediately executes evasion maneuvers, returning to the depths. 3 months in the deep ocean change a person. They emerge different, refined by isolation and reliance. The world above appears too large, too loud, too careless after the intense, disciplined life below. The lessons learned are invaluable: patience, precision, and the ultimate necessity of teamwork. The steel tube that was their prison becomes a sanctuary, a testament to human resilience. Every mission concludes with the decompression of the human spirit, not just the machinery. But soon, the maintenance is complete. The ship is restocked. The training restarts. The calls for volunteers for the next patrol are answered by the sailors who understand the unique honor. The hatches seal. The mooring lines are cast off. The ballast tanks take on water. And the great steel tube slips quietly beneath the waves once more, vanishing into the silent, waiting deep.